Hey, you don't look confident, Bo. You don't look confident when you're doing that. You don't look confident.
Are you ready for the best Kansas City Chiefs insight? Welcome to the Four Guys in a Bar, sponsored by ChiefsBlitz.com, presented by UnderdogFantasy.com. Here's your Chiefs Blitz host, Nick Athan, with Lou, Montagna, Andre Tillman, and Hense
He got
Todd.
the winning Super Bowl touchdown.
Okay, got a catch. Anybody could have made that catch.
The Kansas City Chiefs select Josh Simmons, offensive tackle, Ohio State.
You did it, man. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Guys, y'all got it. Comment. Guys, y'all.
I don't know what the trade details are. Hold on.
Woo!
They got
Boom!
Worthy.
Xavier Worthy.
Isn't that crazy? It's been 11 months since the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, and we're it's gone by so fast.
Oh, it's time to piss straight off. Pull up a picture of 81. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Rashad Smith.
Rashad Smith.
There it is. The Chiefs have done their perfect draft.
Dre's gone. I don't know where he's gone.
Yo, welcome to the show. It's a Chiefs Blitz night. Breaking down the plays, keeping everything tight. From my homes to the defense, we can be the scoop. Real talk, real stats, we the ultimate truth.
All right, here we are again. It's a Red Friday. The Chiefs play Monday night against the Washington Commanders. This is the Four Guys in a Bar Chiefs Blitz podcast. I'm your host, Nick Athan, with Mr. Hense Todd, Mr. Lou Montagna, and Coach Andre Tillman.
What's happening? What's happening?
That's the wrong red, Coach.
Oh, hey. I told you I bleed two red types, man. I bleed two blood types.
Today we're gonna be me talking about the Chiefs. Do the Chiefs need help? What can Veach do? And also we'll be having fact our cap later on today as well. So you guys, hey, if you ain't
right to the point, no fooling around, no appetizer, no kiss on the cheek. We're just going right for it, man. All right,
we're going right to the bone, Lou.
What are they looking forward to on today's show? And we also
give me a few drinks before you come on.
Yeah, maybe it's the pina colada. I don't know.
There you
But
go.
again, we want to thank Ruben and DS, Ken Cascoer, Witchy, and everybody that's joining in. Please continue to like, subscribe, and share it. It's the only time you're gonna get.
Don't forget about it's 100.
It's 100.
It's 100. You know what I mean?
100, right?
Just like and subscribe and share. Tell your friends, tell your grandmas, tell your uncles. Hey, even the newborns is coming into the hospital. Tell them about Chiefs Blitz, Four Guys in a Bar. That
raise them right, raise them right, baby.
Guys to come and watch, right? Because you ain't gonna get no prizes here.
Very educational show.
You ain't gonna get no prizes here from this guy, Saint Nick, our own Saint Nick, that gives prizes out to everybody that gets right answers. Yep.
Yes, I did send some out to Winston. I got Winston's packet together. I need to get the list from Lou, but I will start sending out some of my cards, and then of course we'll have for the grand prize will be a signed card. But try to pick some unique and rare cards out of my personal collection. So that's what we'll do between now and the end of the year when it comes to who is the best at Wednesday's game. Chief. Yeah. Who?
They said, hey, who gives the best Christmas gifts?
Look at Witchy Hall.
Oh, me.
Damn, everybody off, man.
I'm like all opposite here.
I should get a prize shit. I was focused. I just point up, baby. I just point up. You know what I'm saying?
So with that said, man, hey, we got a heck of a show locked up for you guys. This is a Red Friday, not a Red Burgundy or a Great Friday. It's not great. It's Red Friday. It's me and Luke.
That's a bright red shirt.
Red in here somewhere.
We're all about the fire engine red, baby. Let's go.
All right.
Tell me if this is a red. I don't know. It looks burgundy to me. I don't know. It looks a little burgundy. I don't know. It's a Arizona.
Ari football.
Ari football.
Ari Gold. Ari.
Is it Ari Gold? That's got to be Ari Gold, man.
Hey, put the camera back on me again, though, Bo. Put the camera back on me again, man. Let me show you what it is right here. Here's wow.
Look at that. Angry Birds.
And who does your team?
You know what I'm talking about.
Coach is all about the video games. Angry Birds, man.
Yeah, Angry Birds is my
Look at
favorite
that bird.
game.
That bird hasn't had any in months.
Man. I'm about to. We're gonna feed them next week, though.
So with that said, it's a lot that's happening around sports. People getting arrested for sports gambling and everything else. What you feel? I want to, before we jump in the show, what you feel about that, Nick? I mean, not Nick, Lou. What you feel about all that?
Well, it's not sports gambling that they're getting in trouble for, because it is pretty much legal everywhere. It's the sports fixing that gets people in trouble, that they can't just do it like everybody else. The whole idea is it's a game of chance. If then it's fixed, it's like it takes all the skill out of it, right? So anyway, we'll get into it a little bit with Factor Cap, but we'll see what happens. This is going to be a big case. I truly believe that. And I do believe that there's going to be some changes moving forward for sure.
So with that said, man, hey, it's only one spot that you can't get in trouble at, and there's Underdog. So
That's right. Underdog
All
fantasy.
on the up and up. Football's back.
Now you can win up to 1,000 times your money. Play their pick'em game higher or lower. Just pick your favorite players like Jackson Mahomes. We make it easy around here at the Chiefs Blitz podcast. Very simple. Hit the QR code where it says scan here. Put it in the promo code Chiefs Blitz. Set up your account. Deposit $5. Play 5. Get $50 to $100 in bonus dollars. And you're off and running. You got to play a game to activate your account. So if you do, and we hit 100 new Chiefs Blitzers to Underdog Fantasy on our account, I will be donating. I got to use the proper word here. Donating to one lucky individual this rare 1969 remembrance.
It's a gift. Yeah.
It is a donation.
Don't even
For
look at that
Johnny
starburst with the numbers in it. That's not even there.
Yeah, the number's not there. This is free. Johnny Robinson, Emmett Thomas, Bobby Bell, Willie Lanier, Lenny Dawson, all Hall of Fame inductees, Pro Football Hall of Fame. This ball will be yours with the case and, of course, free delivery. If we hit 100 individuals who tap on the scan here and set up their account, play the 5, get their bonus dollars, you will be eligible for this amazing gift to be gifted at some point in January 2026. There you go. That's all I got.
One thing I want, sir. I want that guitar. If you're not gonna put it to use, just give me the guitar. I will put it to use on the show. I like to have it. But other than that, man, hey, you're not gonna find your best prizes or your gifts. With nothing, nowhere they're out here in Chiefs Blitz or 4 guys in the bar.
Yeah, and if you're looking for Chiefs items, go to chiefsblitz.com. Check out the store. I have a lot of stuff posted already, and a lot more. Kansas City Chiefs, Kansas Jayhawks, Kansas City Royals. I've got some national miscellaneous stuff as well. Everything is going to go. I'm going to just get rid of it all. I'm done with it. Have too much. Share with the world.
You got rich people problems, man. Just give it away.
I ain't giving it away.
I know. I hear you. Hey, maybe we can feature some other items up for sale.
We will on Monday. I've got 3
go,
pictures.
yeah.
I just didn't have time to send them to Hense today.
All right. We're gonna be in fact the cat. I'm still working on the image. So what else is happening in sports before I pour those down?
Do we have any news or anything in the day? What do we got?
Yeah, we got the news. Hold on. I'll pour those.
Chiefs things brewing out there.
It's Friday. Now again, Monday will be our preview show.
All right. This straight from Nick Jacobs, guy. He's there, in the press room on a regular basis. Yep. Trey Smith and Josh Simmons will not practice today. Everybody else will do some work. According to Nick, he's there. He sees it all. So there you go. Trey, Josh. Trey, I think, you kind of expect him to be ready to play. At least that was kind of the word or the feel that Coach Reed gave. But hey, like he always says, we'll see how things go. From our Gold Mac T NFL, Charles Goldman, Chiefs defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo in English, preparing for Marcus Mariota versus Jaden Daniels. It didn't change at all. They did a really good job for their team by getting a backup quarterback who fits exactly what they're doing, what we're doing. I think what he meant was with Jaden. Jaden and Marcus are kind of the same type of player. I think he fits this offense really, really well. So it didn't change much in the Chiefs' preparation.
I agree.
Sorry, guys. I think we lost somebody. So
all right. So Charles Goldman again, quoting DC, Steve Spagnuolo, on losing Omar Norlot. I was really disappointed to lose Omar. It's disappointing for him. He'll grind through it, and we'll get him back next year. What he gave us was some juice inside. Now we won't have that. Adds also that Jerry Tillery, Derek Nottie, Chris Jones will play. Will play more, and they might need to have more DNs play inside. They had talked, I think, earlier in the week about Mike Dana. That was Coach Reed. I think talked about Mike Dana moving inside, Gelati moving inside a little bit. You've seen Leo line up everywhere, so I'm sure he'll be involved in the mix too. So,
yeah.
So moving parts there on the defensive front for the Chiefs.
Lots of moving parts.
Charles Goldman on it today.
He's on it today.
Matt Nagy says Rashee Rice's usage might look familiar to this week, the last. It's a lot to come right back. It's a lot to come right back in and play right away and play 60 snaps. As much as we can keep him in, we'll do that. And I think he also added that as much as he wants to. And I would imagine Rashee wants to play every snap, but they'll monitor that. I think they ended up at like 40, 41. I think Coach Reed said they were shooting for 40% of the snaps. He got 41%, so they were right on it. So we'll see how much more he gets. I'm sure it'll continue to climb as we move through the regular season here. Charles Goldman, once again, man, we are on this guy's account. Matt Nagy's message to the offense to keep things rolling, keep the execution at a high, protect the football, never get relaxed with the details. I think he also went on to say that even though, there was a big victory, 31-0, really wasn't much to, not a ton to grade, but you also have to look at some, missed assignments. So there's still missed assignments, and you can't just gloss over that because you win the game. You have to kind of make those corrections and make sure it doesn't happen again. And hey, it's all about the details and moving forward and getting better every week, and every other cliche that we hear every single week.
There we go.
Why don't we just Photoshop or copy and paste Charles Goldman's account? He didn't know he was getting so much love. He's going to get a lot of followers from us. Hopefully his followers follow us. Okay, so Chiefs defensive tackle Chris Jones on the Commanders. They have a really, really, really well-rounded team. The offensive coordinator, Cliff, does a really good job of scheming. We've definitely got our hands full trying to slow them down. So, sounds like they'll be getting, at least they've practiced so far, Debo and Terry McLaurin. So it looking good for them to play. That's obviously the big news for them, as well as, the Chiefs corners have to be, on their P's and Q's with those two guys for sure.
Yeah, we'll preview this game more on Monday in our 1:30 show. So, that's what's coming up. There is some breaking news in the NFL. We'll touch on this real quick while we're fixing some stuff on the back end.
Witchy Hall on it.
Witchy Hall's on the NFL has fined the New York Giants $200,000. Organization, that is. Head coach Brian Daboll $100,000, and running back Cam Scatterbo $15,000 for violating the concussion protocol during the evaluation of quarterback Jackson Dart. I think that was in the week
against the Eagles. Yeah, Dart went into the blue tent. Scatterbo kind of went in there to see how he was doing. That's a complete no-no. Yeah. Dable goes back there. He's having words with the doctor, and that was not a good look at all. Yeah. I'm surprised the fines were actually this minimal. you talk about some oversight. This is definitely something that's supposed to be like as if he's in the doctor's office.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody coming in there. It's just the patient, the doctor, maybe a nurse or whoever is on the medical staff. But you can't have coaches trying to rush the doctors, rush the process, or players peeking in saying, hey, what's going on?
Well, all this stemmed, for those that watched that game, was that Dable did not want Russell Wilson to come in and play any snaps at quarterback. Yeah. And he wanted to make sure his guy was good to go because he wanted him in the game because he knew that was the only chance they had to beat the Eagles that night was if Dart was the quarterback. I wish Dable would have had a little bit more fire in the fourth quarter against the Broncos. He just sat in the sidelines and picked his nose and did nothing to stem the tide. So there you go. Who knows?
All right, we're going to move on to Factor Cap. Dre has lost some power. I was trying to fix it on the back end. So we're going to move on to Factor Cap. What did you have for us?
You got a line on, is it Kansas City Power and Light? Who you got that kind of skills. All right. That's our producer, Hense Todd, my friends. That's right. It's Friday. You know why we're here. We're all here for the second greatest on YouTube. That's right. Back for Cap. I'll read a series of statements taken from the headlines, different sports. I mean, it's normally football related, especially during the season. But something did come up this week that is going to spill over into all the different sports. I'll read the statements. You guys can weigh in whether you believe it's fact or cap. You're not with that, and then give us some ideas why you may not feel that way. So here we go. Number one. The NBA kind of was rocked yesterday, but FBI reports and fixed poker games, celebrity poker games, a coach surprisingly involved with maybe luring some high net worth individuals to these games that were fixed. All sorts of different stuff. I'm not really going to talk about that. That's kind of a whole separate issue here, but it just goes along with the whole tenet here. Individual prop bets, they're kind of the easiest ones to really fix, and it's at the heart of the Terry Rozier arrest, where he played the first 10 minutes of a game, maybe let some people know. Again, this is all alleged. This is in the indictments. We don't know where this is going, but perhaps he told some people that he wasn't going to play the full game or his full minute share, so a bunch of people bet lower or under, and of course he doesn't play long enough and he doesn't put up the statistics. It's an easy win. So all due respect, obviously we are sponsored by Underdog Fantasy Sports. That's a big part of what they do, is giving people the opportunity to play on individual players. Unfortunately, those are the easiest ones where you can get a little shenanigans, and this is part of it. So at some point, there probably will be some sort of controls on that. If you've ever played fantasy football and one of your guys gets hurt like early in a game, unless your league has rules that, maybe a backup goes in, you're kind of SOL, and whatever stats that guy put up in the however many snaps he played, that's all you get. But the greater thing here is that it's going to spill over into all the sports that have kind of embraced gambling, are proponents of it now, where it was such a thing in the past where all of the commissioners spoke out against it, the ills of it. Now they've completely embraced it. They've taken them on as business partners and everything else. And the last thing you want is people or customers feeling like this is fixed. So I believe this case is going to have some far-reaching consequences, if you would, not just to the individuals that are involved here, but actually how people bet on sports or make, however you want to term it, put up money or risk money against what's happening on the field. So statement is this, after all of this BS: sooner than later, there will be government oversight to the gambling markets. Sooner than later, much like when the the New York Stock Exchange put in the SEC in the 30s after the market crash. So at some point, there's going to be a government entity overseeing all the gambling markets. So fact or cap? Hensley.
I would say fact.
There they go.
I said they gonna be in there looking for every little thing that you are doing against basketball, football, hockey, soccer, little league. It doesn't matter. They're gonna be all over it. Hey, I think that is a true fact. Hey, you're not making money off of it. You not getting any money off of it. So, hey, I had to say fact, just like that picture. What you had to say, Nick?
I'm going to go the other direction. I'm going to go cap. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be too difficult to do. It's too widespread. Now, what's going to happen, and I've seen it with Underdog, is the algorithms are probably going to have to change. And if they notice something that's abnormal, they shut that bet down. And that's what you're going to see more of. There'll be more controls for that. But I don't think the government can step in. I mean, listen, the NFL already has antitrust laws. You know, they have a lot of government protection. As Lou said, they have invited and embraced these companies and the casinos and everything else because it's a major source of revenue for the NFL. Now, for the NFL, I think they do a much better job. I'm not a big fan of the way the NBA is run. I'm not a fan of the commissioner. I think he's one of the worst next to the guy in baseball as far as running their respective leagues go. But, you know, you already had what? Lou, correct me if I'm wrong. 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, they had an official who was arrested for gambling. You know, so there's all these things. What's that?
In the NBA, yes.
In the NBA, yes. So the NBA's kind of had a past about some of this stuff. And again, there's been isolated events that have happened throughout time in sports. I can think of several that happened in the 80s and the 90s. And when you look at the totality of it all, you're talking about a very minuscule amount of people. But I don't think the government is going to be able to fix this problem. It's going to be up to these companies to develop their algorithms, make sure they're in step with the league, make sure there's security precautions in place to where if they see something that's abnormal, that they address it. And people got to remember, this investigation began like 14, 15 months ago. So it's been a long step process. And with the change in government and individuals, you're going to have some, gap there. But at the end of the day, to answer the question, I don't think government can solve this problem. It's going to be the leagues and these entities that are going to have to fix it themselves.
Yeah, well, it's not a matter of solving the problem. It's just oversight, right? And I would think that the companies themselves would actually invite that, because if that gives their customers more confidence that the games aren't rigged in some way, or that individual players aren't rigging games, that is going to make them feel more comfortable laying down their cash. So I think that's where the perspective that I'm bringing it from. And again, I think some of those controls, Nick, are already in place at the casinos. They've done it for years. If they see an inordinate amount of money coming in late on a particular player or a particular game or whatever, they will shut it down. They will mitigate it. They'll do whatever they need to do because, hey, they're in business. They don't want to see that. So that's what I'm saying, is that some of these, it's not so much the amount, it's just the fact that a few people are taking advantage of it. So I think maybe there will be, I don't know if it's going to be government. I don't know how it's going to work, but again, they will police themselves as far as the casinos and the betting apps. But if there was some kind of oversight to minimize it, I think they would embrace that. So moving on, we could go on for weeks on that. Here we go. So last season, if you weren't paying attention, the Minnesota Vikings had Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones in their building. Sam Darnold, obviously on the field, playing for the 1 seed. He kind of crapped the bed at the end of the season, but here he is in Seattle at 5-2. Daniel Jones was on the practice squad, never really got a chance to play there, but I think just being there for more than half the season, they saw what they had, or what they thought they had in him. And I believe they even offered him more than Indianapolis did. But he chose to go there because he figured it's going to be a hell of a lot easier beating out Anthony Richardson than it was beating out J.J. McCarthy that hadn't had a chance to play yet. But they're sitting at 3-4, and they still don't know what they have at J.J. McCarthy. So seeing guys that had slow starts to their careers, and meaning Darnold and Jones, this is actually good news for J.J. McCarthy, meaning that Minnesota may give him a little bit more runway because they had those two guys in there and they're seeing them have success. Fact or cap?
It's a fact. There's a fact there. Sorry, guys. I'm working in the background. But that is a fact. I think, Daniel Jones had been on all these teams, and he found his way with the Colts. That would be a fact with me. What about you, Nick?
I can't disagree. He's been absolutely brilliant with the Colts, and I'm impressed. They got the best record in the AFC. We discussed their schedule on Wednesday. It's going to get a little bit more difficult here after this weekend when they've got a layup against the Tennessee Titans at home. But I'm 100% fact on this one, Lou.
Yeah, so the question is about J.J. McCarthy, and does he get the runway? That's the interesting thing to me, because will more teams, and just thinking about this out loud, will more teams kind of give some of these younger guys a little bit more runway, seeing the success of a Darnold, Daniel Jones,
sure,
Mac Jones, some of these guys that took Geno Smith to some degree, right? I mean, he was never really that, and then he just kind of found his way with different teams. So I think it is good news for JJ. I'm sure that he's a pretty polarizing dude right now, even though he hasn't really played that much. We'll see what happens when he comes back. All right. So finally, you always know the third one's going to be about the Chiefs, and it's normally going to have a little spice to it. It kind of sucks that Coach isn't with us right now, because I'm pretty sure I wrote this specifically for him. So this weekend's game, or actually Monday night's game against the Commanders, we've got, Rasheed, X, Hollywood. They're all together for the first. That was last week, and I think they played all of 5 snaps together.
Yeah, that's crazy.
For some of the guys that on the scene that researched that kind of set. I think it was Matt Derrick that brought it up, and then he asked Coach Reed about it. But anyway, with all the intention going to Rasheed and X, Tyquan Thornton is actually going to lead the Chiefs in receiving yards this week. Fact or cap?
I have to say that is a fact. I feel like the kid is going to go out there and ball out. I feel like, this is his opportunity with, I was writing a piece about the Commander secondary. It's last in the lead, and I watched the all-22 film. I feel like you can attack them deep. And I feel like this is the guy, him and Xavier Worthy, can get it done. This is the time to showcase what you really can do against a weak opponent. So I would say there had to be fact.
Nick?
If I'm the Kansas City Chiefs, I say fact on this one too, Lou. And I'll tell you why. I think getting him the ball consistently, showing that he can still make the plays even with all those other guys on the field, is going to do nothing but sink the heart of the Buffalo Bills fans, who the Chiefs are going to play a week from Sunday, and then they'll have their bye week, and then they're going to go to Denver. If all these receivers are contributing and defenses don't know where it's going to come from, they can't double up them all. You saw that Sunday where the Raiders doubled up on Thornton a couple times, and Kelsey was wide open because Rashee Rice was running all over the field. So to me, they can't forget Tyquan Thornton. I think he's just a valuable piece. Get him the ball, make a concerted effort on Monday night to build up his stats, get him in the end zone. And so where the Bills and then the Broncos in a few weeks after that are looking at the game film and going, who do we cover? If we don't get to Mahomes, we're screwed, which means they're going to have to man coverage and blitz. That's the only way they can disrupt Patrick Mahomes, and that's advantage Kansas City.
Ken St. Clair, I'm with you, man. Yeah, that's cap. He's not going to get the opportunities. Like I said, I'm with Ken. He may get like a few receptions, maybe more than 2, but just Rasheed's going to be getting going to continue to get the lion's share of the usage or targets, however you want to term it. Xavier, I think, as he is shoulder heals, he will continue to get more and more. So it's going to be tough really for anyone outside of Kelsey, maybe Noah Gray, because and I don't know, Noah or the tight ends may become a little less productive just because of all the receivers being healthy and being so productive, because they're going to be playing less 12 personnel and certainly less than 13 personnel.
Right.
Because if you got 2 of them on the field, then you're going to only have 2 receivers on the field. So odds are you're going to see a lot more 3 receiver sets. So yeah, Tyquan, I'm all for that. It's great that he can come in those spots. I think somebody likened it to Justin Watson, but I think Tyquan a little bit faster, maybe a little bit more skilled. So it's good to have that guy kind of in the bullpen, if you will, and be able to bring him in and kind of change the pace a little bit, change the look, and just have just one more guy that's running whatever 4.2 plus down the field. So all love for Tyquan, but I just don't see that happening this week. So there you have it, folks. Fact or cap for week 8, Commanders week. As always, brought to you by our friends at Underdog Fantasy Sports. Play now, play often. You're all good, folks. It's nothing against the players. It's all about the actual participants that are mucking things up a little bit. So get your money, man. It's like stealing out there.
There you go. We lost.
Hey, look at the coach.
Well, coach, we gave him a little red outfit and an upgrade with the glasses and the shades.
He is in red. He is in red. That's cool.
Yeah. He had a power outage. So this is what happens when you do a live show, folks. Things get in the way. So we will do our best to honor our friend who unfortunately is going to have to sit out the rest of the show.
So I have a question for John. John, always Johnny on the spot. No pun intended. But the Chiefs run 12 personnel more than anybody, and I'm with you there, and I like it when they do, because it's all sorts of mismatches for the defense. It's really difficult to deal with 2 tight ends, especially if one or both of them are good blockers as well. But if you're sitting there with Rasheed, Xavier, and Hollywood, and you're able to put them on the field, and especially the way Coach Field wants to play, Coach Reed wants to play. Damn, I think 12 personnel is certainly going to have a place. You're still going to see a lot of it. Maybe not quite more than anybody else, but I think he'll want to get those 3 receivers out there as much as possible.
Yep, I agree.
So with that said, let's get into the back end of the segment.
It does show. Do the Chiefs need help on the defensive line? What can Brett Veach
I think
do?
Nick just editorialized there. Before we get into it, I noticed something when our friend Hensley was talking about, I think maybe over the last few weeks, he was writing articles. Now he's writing a piece. Nick, what have you created here?
I created a monster, and he does a great job. They're getting lots of views. His format is good. His words are good.
Watch out! This is
I don't know what
there's going to be a Pulitzer coming. This is awesome.
Maybe
a piece.
Hey. Yeah,
people that go. He didn't make a movie. He made a film.
We all know what line of movie that's from. There we go.
So let's go ahead and get into the question loop.
All right. Do the Chiefs need to make a trade before the deadline?
I think, do they have to? No, I don't think they have to. Will they? They probably will. There's definitely some free agent. There's some potential trade targets on the defensive line, whether you're looking inside or outside. Listen, I think for Brett, he has to weigh in what's it going to cost me? What teams are willing to trade with the Chiefs? And you've got some really talented players that are available.
Jalen Hurts?
Yeah, that's not Jalen Hurts. You've got you've got 3 or 4 guys that I think could be good. Simmons would be great.
I think he makes as much as Chris Jones does.
Yeah, again, the cap ramifications. Sure, the Chiefs only have about 3.5 to 4 million in cap space. They don't really have any moves that they can make to really adjust the cap this year to be able to fit somebody. So, they can't restructure, Patrick Mahomes because they've already done it. They can't do Chris Jones. Travis Kelce's already been paid. They can't do anything unless they do some sort of extension for maybe a player that they're not sure they want to keep the following year. But for me, to answer the question, do they need to make a trade? I'm on the fence, but I'm going to go. I think they should do it. I think they need to add at least one defensive lineman or pass rusher to help offset the loss of Omar Lott and the continued development we have with Galati, who's kind of taking a little bit more time to develop than we thought. And then if Mike Dana's going to move inside some, then I would say probably it would be wise to make a deal.
Yeah, I think they need to make a deal before the trade deadline. And like I said, past weeks, and I continue to hear the same name in this Phillips. They need to go get a guy, that, he's 6'5", 166. So
266, I'm hoping.
266.
Yeah, 266, I meant to say.
I can run him over if he's 166.
He's 266, 6'5", and what I say?
And he can move.
He is.
You know what I say when my grandpa say, if you got cleats on, it adds another inch. So he's 6'6".
I've never heard that, Hense. I've never said that before.
I say it all the time. When cleats on, it adds another inch. So I feel like Phillips is that guy, man. I know he had the injuries, he had this, he had that, but he can be before the trade deadline. If they go get somebody opposite can help the pass rush. With Chris Jones in the middle, and maybe to go get the guy that got released from the Raiders again. I think his name is Wilkins.
Wilkins. Which
he's not gonna be ready to play for a month.
Amazingly, it's like crickets. I mean, when he first was released, it was like this big deal. Obviously, because of the contract, how well he had played for the Dolphins, and then kind of his extracurriculars that he's had some issues on the field, maybe touching things and grabbing things he's not supposed to. Ask Josh Allen, but nothing since. He's a legitimate player. I mean, that would be a huge move if he was healthy and ready to play. Right. But as far as having to make a move, I think we'll know a lot better after these 2 games because, with the company line so far is like, hey, we can do it with the guys that we have. We may just have to shuffle it. Well, if all of a sudden Monday night, the Commanders come in and run the ball exceedingly well.
Right.
If they go to Buffalo and James Cook runs all over them, then maybe the urgency, ramps up a little bit and they go make a move maybe for an inside player. I don't know. There's been many names thrown around of inside guys that, are going to be difference makers, right? The kid from Cleveland there that's pictured, his name had come up before, when the Chiefs, it was coming around like during the they
tried to get him.
Yeah. If there was a move to be made, maybe they had some interest and some other guys, but I don't know if there are any true difference makers. Like, we can throw up pictures of Jeffrey Simmons. They can't, that's impossible. That just can't happen. Right. They just too much invested in Chris Jones. That would be awesome. Both guys, Mississippi State guys, I'm sure they're buddies. So that
would be fun.
That would be pretty cool. And I think it would be the most significant tandem of defensive tackles in the NFL.
None better.
But now you've got, close to $60 million a year, or at least $55 million a year invested in 2 defensive linemen, and neither of them, are edge rushers. So should be interesting down the line. I mean, I would throw out, if they are going to make a trade, especially with Miami, that Bradley Chubb might be the guy that would fit the bill a little bit better because he seems to really fit the size of the defensive end, more a guy that can stop the run as well as pass rush. Again, you got to look at his health. I think his cap number is relatively eatable, if you will, for this year.
Right.
It's the next 2 years that you worry about. Would they have to restructure that? What would happen? So there's so many things that go into a trade, because you always see fans that well, they should go get this guy. They should go get that. I mean, it's not that simple. If it was, they would do it. But I think, I would have to reserve myself here, and let's see how the next 2 games go, how they do stuffing the run. And that'll tell us, hey, do we need to go after an inside guy, or do we have to go after an edge guy? And maybe Bradley Chubb is the guy that can kind of kill both, 2 birds with 1 stone.
All right, what do we got next?
All right.
How encouraged should we be about the latest news on Josh Simmons, which I don't know what you guys saw or what you heard, but what changed? I mean, I watched Coach Reed and I heard what he said. What changed from?
I think Reed's demeanor was a little bit different in talking about it. He did verify that it was a family situation. He did say he thought things were moving, in a progressive manner. They did not put him on the non-injury football list or the NFI, not whatever it is. And I think that they feel confident that he's going to be back at some point. My guess would be they get through the game unscathed on Monday night, don't have any issues. We probably see him after the bye week when they play Denver to get him back into football shape. But I
don't know that we have any information to that degree at all. I mean,
I'm just assuming.
What I'm saying is there's really nothing that says that we're expecting him back. There was no, I think from what I heard, it just sounded like, again, they reiterated it was family or personal. And the only thing that, and again, this would be kind of trying to read between the lines, is where he said that it was positive news, or that there was nothing bad outside of what he was dealing with. So I don't know that any of that is really news, or that we know anything more than we did.
Yeah, I'm not saying that we know what the facts are, or what the situation is.
Yeah.
My interpretation was, and just based on Andy's demeanor, which was different this time when asked, that's what I'm reading.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to read what Andy isn't saying. And what I think Andy isn't saying, I think that you will see this resolved. I do think he's going to come back at some point this year. That's just my personal opinion. So
and that's fine.
I guess things out there. We just don't know what the.
And again, I don't know if you guys heard something different or anything like that, because from what I saw, what I heard, it didn't sound any different than what they've been saying all along.
Right.
Yeah, I just think, positive, encouraging, like you said, you read into body language, you read into and stuff like that as well. But I'm just praying whatever it is, that the kid be, safely return back to his, because the kid was playing at a high level.
Yeah. I don't think on the field was an issue at all.
Yeah, but whatever it is, I hope that they can get it resolved, and it's a little encouraging. But some people in the chat don't think it's encouraging. What I mean?
Speaking of NFI, and I hate to make a left turn here, but Ethan Driscoll is on the NFI. What do we know what his status is, or what's happening there?
I've heard nothing about him at all.
Yeah. But he is on NFI, so I don't know if that was just a procedural thing or if there was something truly going on there. But that was weird. All right, so Nick Patrick Slyman coming in hot. He's not mentally all there. Now, Nick, I'd love to know how you know that, but
I disagreed with my buddy on that.
We can surmise that, but it's hard to really say, especially if that is it. But Nick goes on to say, as well as anybody, this organization will say anything to make this look less like he just up and quit on the team because of the pressure. Now, that's certainly a take, and I'm not saying that that's off the table. That could be, but that's we don't know. we don't know.
No,
that he
I think what's important here, you know, and I put this in my column, and some people have kind of followed up what I had said earlier in the week or last week. You know, we have to give him, we have to give him whatever it is that he needs, because the Chiefs have a lot riding on him. They're fortunate, you know, because they have a backup that's playing really good football. They're fortunate they're in this situation, but you know, I don't want to speculate on anything. I mean, Hense and I have heard 15 different things, and I can't sit there and say 100%. My perspective is this. I've watched Andy Reid since he arrived in Kansas City, virtually every press conference. And I have a sense, just based on that education, that this situation is getting closer to being resolved in more of a positive light than the negative light it was 3 weeks ago. That's just my observation.
Sure. So Nick Patrick is saying he evidently he has a source. He said he was hanging out with some linemen last week, and that was straight from one of the linemen's mouth. So
I don't know anything about that, Nick.
So who knows? I would appreciate that you do have that source. That's cool that you're able to talk to those guys. So we'll see. I mean, that's all we can do at this point.
All right.
With that said, have y'all seen anything like this? You know, I know y'all been covering the NFL longer than I have. Have you ever seen anything like this? Like,
yeah, you know, this is not, you know.
Well, Richie, I mean, it's a little bit different because of he was acting out, but like Richie Incognito had some issues that he had to kind of step away for a while. There've been others too, and then some you don't hear about because it's just private.
The thing is now, because of social media, and we've talked about this a lot, you know, here's the thing that I think is different about Josh versus, you know, like some other athletes. He didn't really have that college entourage. He was more about his family. And you know, some other players, you know, have gotten in trouble because they've carried their entourage with them to the NFL, and they've done some things that, you know, haven't been in the best interest of either themselves or the team. But for this kind of situation is, if I look at this from my perspective, okay, let's just say that I'm a professional football player and something happens to a family member, and I have to take care of that because I'm the center of my family. So if something is wrong in my family, I'm the person that everybody goes to, and I have to help resolve it, or I have to be there for them. And if I have to step away for a few weeks, and again, I don't know this to be 100% fact, but I think with a lot of the speculation, a lot of the things that are out there, it's like, just take a breath. The Chiefs are going to be fine. There's a bigger picture here. There's a whole lot of other repercussions here. And clearly something happened, and Josh Simmons needs the time to get it resolved. Whatever it is, and again, it's none of our business. We just hope the best for the young man and for his family in whatever capacity or whatever level in which he's dealing with whatever he's dealing with. That's as far as I think we can analytically or politically correctness or anything take it, because we just simply don't have the facts until Josh Simmons speaks or Brett Veach speaks.
But one thing, encouraging thing that came out of was, you know, Jalen Moore is a beast. You know, Jalen Moore is getting the time to shine, to show what he can do.
We found out he can play.
You know, it's a 2-year deal, and you know, I mean, hey, the kid is out there playing lights out. Now, it's another kid that's out there that's, you know, can this make Nick happy? Go ahead and read it, Luke.
How happy will Nick be if Issa Pohl, an undrafted free agent who's never played down in the NFL, and we have no idea how good a player he will ever be? Oh, sorry, that was just me. Returns to the Chiefs.
I'm going to be excited. We have about 15 minutes before we find out if he's going to be eligible, if he's been picked up by another team or he's a free agent. The Chiefs do have one slot left on their practice squad, and I'm assuming that Issa Pohl is going to be the guy they add to it. They all realize they kind of made a mistake. The Jets were the only team to lay a claim on him, and put him on the 53 roster. He was cut yesterday, so he's on waivers. So again, he has to clear waivers unless the Chiefs grab him. If they put a roster claim in, that means they got to make a roster move. I'm not sure who that would be at this point.
Chiefs are about in the middle.
Yeah, Chiefs are about in the middle, so it's not
17, 18.
They're not 31 or 32 like they normally are. So they're kind of in a relatively good position. Listen, we all know how I felt about this kid. I was devastated. I thought this was a wrong. And Nick Jacobs and I were talking a few weeks ago, and we both, I said to him, man, I hope the Jets screw this up and release him and he gets another chance with Kansas City. I think he's a perfect fit for this offensive line, especially with Simmons being out. He knows the offensive line. He played great in the preseason. I love this kid. I think he's got a lot of upside, and I'll be one happy man if this wrong is fixed, because I think he can have I know this is crazy. I think when the Chiefs had a chance to keep Ryan Lilja and he ends up going to Colts and becomes one of the best linemen, this kid has the potential to be a really good offensive lineman. And I hope he gets a chance to come back. Kenzie, Demisio, has he cleared waivers? I think the waiver is at 3:00 Central Time, 4:00 Eastern. So I'm going back and forth just to double check to see if he was claimed. Maybe by the end of the show we'll have an answer, but
he's over there searching hard, man. He's over there.
I am.
He's over there searching hard. But
refresh.
I do. I'm refreshing my Twitter feed or X feed as we.
He's over there checking the internet box. He's telling everybody stay off of Wi-Fi. He want to make sure he get the full.
This would make me as happy as Bashard Smith being drafted in the 7th round.
That's going to make Nick the most happiest guy, man. Hey, more than MVS returning to the Kansas City Chiefs. That's going to make him more happy.
This will make me more happy than MVS returning.
So I think this will make him very happy, as he explained. So ain't no more that he can. I can say more about that.
That's one of those things.
Where he can make it happen, but I think he's gonna make it more than MVS return to the Kansas City Chiefs. What about you, Lou?
Well, it's certainly going to make him really happy. I want to make John Harrison happy right now, and I believe his name is Asa Pole. Asa Pole. Not Issa Pole. Yes, that's the American
I got
version.
Asa right this time. I didn't.
Sorry, John. But I just think and again, just taking it another way, is at his size, and athletic ability, as far as we know, just from what we saw in training camp, who knows? Mm-hmm. I just don't know that they would bring him on, because where and when does he play? I mean, obviously he's going to be a developmental player. You pick him off of waivers. You can't put him on the practice squad. So I think, one, because of that size and just the fact that there is a dearth of good linemen in the league, that some team will put a claim on him, I would think. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's going to be a tough one, but I certainly think that Nick would be over the moon.
I would be over the moon. I'm actually texting somebody right now, so we'll go on to the next question.
Yes.
Let's get to the next one.
Right. Is the Chiefs' running game truly fixed? Damn.
He's taking somebody. I was like, no. I don't think it's truly fixed. I think they need to go get somebody. I know we talked about the trade deadline earlier and everything else, pass rusher, this pass rusher. But Bashard Smith can be that guy, but we all know that he need to put on some little bit of weight to take on the full role. I think that happened this offseason, but it is a guy that is on a losing city and a losing team, and he wears number 20. And he will fit. And his last name is Hall too, like Dante Hall. I don't know if they related, but I know he will fit well into this offense. So yes, I think it ain't truly fixed. I know they, we need a pass rusher. If they can knock down 2 birds with 1 stone and 1 off season, right? Say, hey, we go get a Phillips from Miami, and we go get the Hall from the Jets.
Nice try.
You never know. I'm just saying, fix 2, kill 2 birds with 1 stone, and I think that would, fix the problem. But and Bashard Smith as well, gains the weight in the offseason. But Isaiah Pacheco looked good. The Raiders, was it the Raiders or was Isaiah Pacheco, actually running good? You know what I mean? We will see.
He's running good for a couple of weeks.
I think he's getting better. I think certainly getting healthier. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know as far as fixed, right? I mean, for the amount of time that they put into it, I would say it's kind of on pace to where they'd like it to be, because I think they put so much into the passing game that it's not really even though the guys project as great run blockers in terms of the offensive line, they spend so much time pass blocking that I think that's not really how the team is designed. So for what they do, it's good enough. If they can just, make a few plays, move the sticks here and there, keep the defense honest, get positive play. Again, those short yardage plays, those are the biggest plays, right? Because that's when everybody thinks, well, the running game is fixed. If they can extend drives and short yardage, that's really all they're looking for. You'd like to see some explosives? Absolutely. No question about it. And maybe Broussard does provide that, but I don't think it's ever going to be truly fixed, because I don't think it's a huge priority for the team.
Not like pass rusher, no.
So with that said, that was our last question. Anything for the last call, Lou? Anything
last
you guys
call? Well, I'll just bring it around right here. You guys kind of hit on it. Let's say you've got a 4th round pick to give up.
Mm-hmm.
Do you give up said 4th round pick for a Bradley Chubb? Or do you take that 4th round pick and trade it for Breece Hall? Now, Breece Hall is in the 4th year, I believe, of his rookie deal.
Final year of his deal. Yes, he did not get a fifth
year option. They did not pay it because, that's a pretty significant number to pay a running back, and everybody, it's still big part of the league. Just kind of, they play the analytics game. We can get a new one in the draft. But a little coach again isn't here, and I pulled a stat. So Breece Hall, 10+ yards, gets 10+ yards on 14% of his carries, which ranks him like in the top 15 of the league in running backs. The Chiefs as a team get 10+ yards on 7% of their carries. So again, different offensive lines. You can manipulate these numbers any way you want. Sure. The bottom line is he's a pending free agent. This would be a rental for sure. And are you willing to give up a 4th round pick to get that? Or do you take that 4th round pick, which again, the assumption is that Miami would take this and the Jets would take the 4th round pick. The Jets, I think, would be more open to it because, again, they're going to lose them anyway. Why not get something? Bradley Chubb is signed for the next couple of years beyond this year. This year's number is pretty palatable. But again, he's the bigger of the two defensive ends in terms of setting the edge and the type of defensive end that the Chiefs seem to like. Yeah. So if you had to pick one or the other, and that's all you could get, which are you doing, Hensley? Mr. Iowa State.
I'm picking Bradley Chubb. I'm picking Bradley Chubb because
okay.
Because the ball, I can see if this was a heavy run first team, and it's not. The ball is always in Patrick Mahomes' hand, and receivers, Travis Kelce, Rashee Rice, Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy, and those guys. Yeah. And I can see that, and I can see them trying to say, "I'll take that 4th and go get Hall," but that's a high 4th round pick just for a 1 year, you know what I mean? But if it's Bradley Chubb, then you know what you got for the few years to come. And plus, it's an issue that you've been having outside of George Karlaftis and Chris Jones, that third guy. We don't know who that third pass rusher is. We don't know who that third defensive line is. I thought it was Ashton Galati, but he's still a rookie. You got Charles Omena, who you don't know what you know.
He's played pretty good.
Really good. It might still be number 54, gang. Yeah. It might still be 54.
You see Leo Chanel coming along. But again, Bradley Chubb adding to this defense, making more of a scary defense. So, hey, I'll have to go with for Lou's question, I'll have to go Bradley Chubb in the 4th.
Yeah, I think for me, I mean, I would love to have Breece Hall, but with Bradley Chubb under contract, and if the Chiefs can maybe rework that deal, if he has a good second half of the season, provided, assuming that he gets traded. Now, I don't think it's going to take a 4th rounder for Chubb because of the contract. I think he probably can get it for a 5, maybe even a 6.
Okay,
but that's just me. I think Breece Hall, you're minimum a second day pick. They're going to want a 2 or a 3. They'll just keep him in chaos in New York because the Jets don't care. They're all in about the number 1 pick for next year. So
but they're 0-7 with him. They're going to lose him in free agency.
You're talking about an organization that isn't run.
That very well may be, but they still have, it's a brand new GM, right? Now, you can say what you will about the moves they made and signing Justin Fields. Okay, everybody thought it was a brilliant move in the offseason, but hey, it just worked out the way it's worked out so far. But you got to believe that he's trying to, again, if they are in fact tanking for that first pick, wouldn't you want even more picks?
Right.
Even if let's say Breece Hall just goes nuts the rest of the season, are they going to win a game or 2? So I think from that perspective, they would be more inclined to move him, especially now that they're 0-7. I just don't think the Chiefs make that move because even if they do get him, he's going to get maybe 12, 13, maybe 15 carries a game. They still like to have like 2. Oh no, to me, you're making the choice, one or the other, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, if there's a deal to be made and that's the one, then I would say sure, go ahead and make it. But if it's one or the other, that was the question. I would say if Chubb was available for that 4th round pick, and if you believe that he's healthy enough to help you, then I think that could be a good one, and that could really help, because I think offensively, even with the running backs they have, they were able to score 30 points on just about anybody. Right? You hope and pray that these guys, again, in the situations that when they get in 3rd and short, 4th and short, inside the 5-yard line, that they can just get a few yards. And that'll kind of keep things moving. It's not perfect. It's not ideal, but it's good enough to win games. And if you can have a guy that can be maybe somewhat of a closer with Chris Jones, hey, not bad.
Yep.
I'll go with Chubb.
I got another question for you guys. Game 1 of the 2025 World Series is tonight between the hated Los Angeles Dodgers and the Toronto Blue Jays. Who is your pick and how many games for the World Series? Lou?
I'll say Dodgers in 5.
Okay. Hense?
I say the Blue Jays in 5 as well.
I'm going to Blue Jays in 6.
All right.
Yeah.
Is Shohei playing?
He is.
I believe he is.
What he did last week was just phenomenal.
I'll go with that guy and see and take my chances. But no, it's great. But Blue Jays, I mean, this is the ultimate, because you've got a team with a $350 million payroll versus a team that doesn't spend $350 million.
Right.
And supposedly when it was happening, when Shohei was leaving the Angels, that again, social media had him on a flight to Toronto. Yep. He was going to sign there, the whole thing. He doesn't, obviously, stays in LA, in California, where he should, and got all the money. So
all deferred too. They did a nice job with that contract. So okay.
Everything Magic touches turns to gold, man.
I do want to add a personal note here. The Chiefs are playing the Commanders on Monday, and my best friend of 35 years sadly lost her husband this past week. She is one of the sweetest persons, has been there for me every day of my life. So Jennifer, my heart bleeds for you. I'm there for you. You are the best friend anybody could possibly ask for. And in your time of sadness, we are here for you. And I just want to say that I love you. I appreciate everything you've done for me in my life. And this game's not going to be quite the same, but I'm sure we'll be bantering back and forth like we always do when the Chiefs play the Commanders/Redskins. So I love you, girl. Thank you.
Yeah. Prayers to you and your family.
She's on occasionally. She comes on every once in a while.
Sorry for your loss.
Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to say that. I appreciate you guys letting me get that out.
It's okay. But with that said, man, hey, we got a heck of a show coming up Monday. I don't know if the game plan is out yet. I wrote an article about the game plan.
Yeah, it will be out later today.
We can't let the Commanders see it too far in advance. Hank.
Yeah, you were so dead on last week,
dude.
Had the Raiders read that.
Easy.
It's almost 3:00. It's almost 3:00.
Wait till Monday.
Oh.
So with that said, man, I call it a Friday game plan, so I just keep it out.
No. I'm with you, but let's just pump the brakes, man. They don't need to be seeing that.
Yeah.
So with that said, man, prayers up for Nick's friend, and also prayer up to Dre and his power outage, man. I don't know if
relatively close. That's kind of
I think the Gremlins are out.
Quite frankly, the coach has never looked so good. This is an excellent shot.
Buzz Buddy. So with that said, guys, we will see you guys Monday. It's game week Monday. Enjoy you guys weekend. Enjoy you guys, family and friends. Hey, and don't be Chauncey Billups in them, man. Hey,
thanks for all the comments, everyone. We appreciate the takes.
Yep, we do. All right, guys. We'll see y'all Monday.
Peace.